Who is the Kurgan? And where does he come from?
Well, the Kurgans were an ancient people from the steppes of Russia.
The Kurgan. He is the strongest of all the immortals. He is the perfect warrior. With heart, faith, steel. In the end, there can be only one.
Welcome back, everyone. And I do mean everyone. It's Forgotten Circus. So, there's some times when a remake, a reboot is warranted. I know I talk about remakes. They're going to remake everything. But sometimes, there is a fine line. There's a gray area. And this is one I think should be rebooted and remade, to be honest with you. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about Henry Cavill as Connor MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod, the Highlander. Yeah, this is one, like, I remember when I was young watching this, the first one with Christopher Lambert, or whatever. And, it's one of those movies, even though I know the CGI, the special effects and kind of the acting, it was great for the time. It was that was in the 80s, correct? But yeah, it still holds up to me. It's one of my I'm a cult follower of the Highlander. It's a very unique story. The Highlander it's a great movie. And I'm glad they picked Henry Cavill to play Connor MacLeod or Duncan. We don't know. So let's get a little further down the road. He could be Duncan, but he's probably going to be Connor MacLeod. So the first one was so good, and then you had the second one.
Shall we talk about that?
What was it? Highlander? Was it Highlander? The Quickening? We're going to get into the Quickening. But yeah, that one was absolutely terrible. I think it has a 0 score on Rotten Tomatoes. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know in the comments. I'm pretty sure it's like a 0 Rotten Tomatoes score. It's probably one of the worst movies ever made. But we're not going to talk about that one. But that one did create the lore of where the Highlanders came from. Unfortunately, that is canon because of that movie. But the unique thing about this, how good the first Highlander was. So the character is from the Scottish Highlands, right? In the Clan MacLeod. He's Connor of the Clan MacLeod, right? So they had a French actor, Christopher Lambert, right? Hopefully I'm saying it don't piss any French people off. But yeah. So they had a French guy play the main Scottish Highlander. And then they had Sean Connery, which is actually Scottish, Scottish descent, play a Spaniard. And you know what? You love the movie so much. If you're watching this, you definitely love the first Highlander. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. You had a Spaniard with literally a Scottish accent. And then you had a Scottish Highlander with a French accent, but it worked. Nobody cared. So let me get into, spoiler alert, let me get into what, I'm just going to do a quick premise of actually what the Highlander is. So the Highlanders, it's a story about unique individuals that are immortal when they're on this planet. They're from another planet. What was the planet? Zeist or something in the second one. Ugh. But anyway, it's canon. So basically they are immortal. They cannot die. Some know, some do not know. So whenever there's another Highlander around, it's like they get the presence, like disturbance in, like kind of Star Wars, disturbance in the Force, and they call this thing the Quickening, right? So the Quickening is the power. You'll absorb another Highlander's power, or another immortal's power by the only way you can kill, the only way the immortals from Zeist, the Highlanders, we're just going to put them all as a group as Highlanders, can kill each other is by beheading them. So you're going to see a lot of sword play in it. That's the whole premise of it. It started then. They can behead, like they can't get killed by normal humans or anything like that. Not, I don't even think a normal human can behead them and kill them. They just can't. They can only be killed by another immortal from Zeist, another Highlander. That's the only way. So the thing is, there's a final prize at the end, and they call this the quickening. So when they behead another Highlander, they get the quickening. Uh, Usually, lightning comes from the sky, and they absorb the energy out of the body of the previous immortal Highlander that got dispatched. Okay, so that that's very the story is, it's crazy if you actually look at the real lore and where it was going in the first one and how they ruined in the second one. So there is I know if they're remaking it, rebooting it, they're probably going to have the Kurgan. So the Kurgan is another immortal that already knows he's immortal. So he's trying to hunt down all these people for the ultimate prize. So once you hunt down all the other Highlanders and kill them all throughout different, because remember, they live for a long amount of time, increase a lot of wealth along the way. So they're very prestigious individuals. They just live forever, change names, stuff like that. But the Kurgan is the big bad, and that was played by in the original movie. What's his name? Clancy Brown. Oh my gosh, can we de-age Clancy Brown and have him come back as the Kurgan? He was great. So he's actually kind of awakens what your character is going to be in Henry Cavill, whoever's going to play the Kurgan, as he's going to be the big bad. He's the bad guy. He's just killing. A lot of the other immortals, they just want to be left alone. We can all just live on throughout life. We don't have to kill each other. Some are peaceful. Some try to kill others, get ultimate power. There's a lot of politics involved in that immortal structure. But the Kurgan is the big bad. And whoever you cast for the Kurgan, you got to make him bad. This is one remake, if you do it right, and I think Henry Cavill is the perfect choice for this. He already got dissed by The Witcher, Netflix, and all that, and I had a video about that. Go back and watch that plug. But he already has the sword play. We've seen him with the sword. Now, the thing that intrigues me a lot about this is with the Kurgan, are you going to see more of his side of things, trying to create the balance? Because at the end, when you get all the quickenings, you killed all of them. Apparently, the grand prize is for you to be mortal until another immortal arises or is born, Which, if I was like the rest of them, like, hey, we can eliminate a lot so we have all the power, get it down to 5, and we can just live forever. Who wants the actual final prize? Anybody? We can live forever and just have all this wealth and see everything. Time. Yeah. Good deal. We got it. All right. Pound. Hashtag. Let's go. But the good. So whoever they cast as Kurgan has got to be menacing. He's got to be menacing. He's got to be a character that gets, and he's got to be able to compete with Henry Cavill. They have to be on the same. I want to see acting chops going back and forth, because as crazy as this sounds, if they do it right. So the people that are actually, the guy, I forget his name. He directed John Wick. He's produced a lot of the John Wicks. He's going to be directing this, which is great. So you're going to get, because I love John Wick. And I know this is going to transfer, his visions of stuff is going to transfer. But the big name I really like is Ryan Condal. Ryan Condal wrote this screenplay and script, rewrote it obviously from the first one. He had a lot to go on, But that's interesting because he's the one that's really handling like Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and where it's going, the direction of it. And he's handling that great. So I would like to see him introduce, so like, he brings the Game of Thrones aspect, right? And then the other director, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name, brings in kind of like the John Wick. Because I know both of them are definitely going to shoot on location, because they're location guys. That is obvious, which is great. Take it to Scotland. Take it to places like that, But I want to see with Ryan Condal, bring that Game of Thrones with that. How can you say watered down John Wick fight scenes a little bit, because you're with swords now. But we did see in the last John Wick what he can do with swords. Okay. A little bit of sword play. So that is cool. So bring that. Imagine that. It's like Game of Thrones meets John Wick, but it's evenly balanced. That would be absolutely incredible. I'm very interested in this movie. I think it's going, and it's like nostalgia bait for me. I'm like a kid in a candy store. And then not only did they, this is one of the, so I always get mad when Henry Cavill gets kicked out of things for some odd reason. I don't know, but then he always finds a way to end up in a role where it's like, and if this is done right, it's a trilogy immediately. So that ties him up there too. But it's one of the you first of all, you do Henry Cavill, and I love Henry Cavill as an actor. I want him in more stuff. You know what I mean? I think he's more diverse than what people think. You know, but this is perfect for him. So you bring him in, right? And then you tell me that you're going to cast him as Connor McLeod or Duncan McLeod of the Clan McLeod, both from the Clan McLeod. You're going to cast him in the Highlander remake with Ryan Condal and why am I forgetting this director's name? I'm so sorry. I apologize. But what? Oh, this is good. It almost makes me wonder, like maybe Ryan Condal doing this, writing it, and then I'm pretty sure he had hands on casting. Henry Cavill was like, yeah, this is gonna be his tryout for being Aegon the Conqueror for Game of Thrones, because everybody wants Henry Cavill to play Aegon the Conqueror in Game of Thrones. You know, Aegon's Conquest. That's probably what it's going to be called. But Highlander is very and I want to see the sword because he's going to get it from Ramirez. Whoever Ramirez, please have an actor that has the finesse like Sean Connery have to play Ramirez. And you know what? Come on, guys. Let's. I mean, now you got a British guy playing um a British guy playing a Scottish character. So if you're going to do somebody that's playing the Spanish character, just at least make that one a Spanish character. Please, guys, don't go woke and make him black. It's cool. The story's fine. He can have like, because remember, you're gonna get back in the past when he finds himself, and then later on, because this goes on for a certain amount of years, the Kurgans hunting Connor McLeod, and there's fights along the way. Please don't make Ramirez a black guy. Please. Just don't go woke. That's just, it's okay. He can have there can be African Americans, black people. I'm black, you know what I mean? But they can have them in the movie, but it starts in the Scottish Highlands. So let's not get too far fetched, But I would like to see a Spanish act. And you know who I think would be great to actually play a Latino actor, and I know he's being overused a little bit right now, but I really think that Javier Bardem would be a great Ramirez. And a lot of people will probably say like, "Oh, Javier Bardem, why don't we use, I don't know, Pedro Pascal?" I think Javier Bardem. That's my. I don't know if they've already cast it. They probably did cast it, but I'd be interested. I would like to see, because the way he plays Stilgar. Imagine transferring that in somebody, because remember, Ramirez is his mentor. He's the one that teaches him about being immortal and how to sword fight correctly instead of just run around with brute strength. He's the one that actually shows him the sword, because Ramirez was actually married. Was he in love or had an affair or something with a Japanese princess? Got the sword. It's the only one of its kind. It was folded over 400 and sometimes. It's an incredible blade. And because that's the only way that Highlanders kill themselves. Or I shouldn't say that. I'm so sorry. Or it can they can dispatch another Highlanders by beheading them. So I'm sorry, should have been on the live. I don't want to get flagged for that. But this is very interesting. Very interesting. I think it's going to be good, and they do it right. Just do trilogy. Just do a trilogy. We need movies like this again, with something that the concept is so interesting and so appealing that if they do it right, Ryan Condal, if he wrote it, he's gonna write this like Game of Thrones or like House of the Dragon. It's gonna be amazing. But I don't know. Tell me what you think. Let me know if you've seen the first Highlander. But I do recommend, if you have watched the first Highlander, do not watch the second Highlander. Just don't, because Christopher Connor McLeod was fighting hobgoblins or the Green Goblins on flying surfboards on the planet Zeist, and it just ruined like the whole thing that the original Highlander was trying to create. So I'm very excited. It's one of the remakes I really do want. I'm excited about it. You can probably see it. So I don't know. But anyway, like, comment, and subscribe for more content. I want everyone to subscribe. And I do mean everyone. And wait, there can be only one.